What up, YouTube? Welcome to Reading Reddit, where we share some of Reddit's craziest stories. But before you do that, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Alright, let's get into today's video. AskReddit, what screams upper middle class? A huge kitchen with professional appliances they use to microwave popcorn, granite countertops, and a stove oven that's perfectly flush with it, but it only gets turned on so they can boil some dry pasta and throw a $10 jar of sauce on top of it. Definitely some money if they're spending $10 on a jar of sauce. A stay-at-home mom being exhausted and stressed, yet she has a nanny and maid service. The nanny and maid go by the names Xanax and Peanut Grigio. Now, those are the friends mommy has lunch with most days. 10 a.m. yoga classes. What else would I be doing at 10 a.m.? Reddit? As someone who is upper middle class, 75% of these comments are ridiculous, but 25% are so spot on that I laughed hard enough to spit up coffee from my custom made mug that has 2 photos of my dogs on it. Add custom mugs to this list. Seriously, people overestimate what the upper middle class can afford. There was a very apt AskReddit reply a while back about the difference between upper and lower middle class. One reads a restaurant menu starting from the right, the other reads it starting from the left. But the restaurants I go to don't have menus, just a 10-course tasting. Kids have a ton of leftover stuff from previous fads, hobbies. A friend of mine had about $1,000 worth of paintball stuff just sitting around because he used to be into it a few years earlier. Then he got into dirt bikes. 2 of them now gathering dust in a shed built specifically for the dirt bikes. I do agree. I was like this once. Started with Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. Got into gaming with PS2 and all the games. Left it a few years ago. Returned to it. Also got into fishing. Got equipments. Never did them. Edit, all the things I listed, I gave them all to Goodwill. Please don't blow my message box. Smiley face. Edit, I don't have any Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Please stop. You still want those Yu-Gi-Oh cards? I'll take them off your hands for you. Upper middle class is not all that materialistic as you think. It's more in the lines of going grocery shopping and just grab and go, disregarding price tags. Being able to spend a lot but reluctant to spend at all, not having to check bank balances, etc. Yeah, I see a lot of crazy ideas of what upper middle class is in this thread, or a disparity between examples. Yours describes how I feel upper middle class is the best. Some of these things are trending into upper easily. Agreed. My wife and I are probably upper class given median house income in the area. We don't do any of the listed in this thread, except we don't look at prices for basic items when we go shopping. According to data, upper middle class is a family income of $100,000 to $150,000. With that, you can go on several vacations a year, have savings, have average to nice things, go out to eat a few times a month, have a decent, upkept home, 2 cars, nice Christmases, healthcare, you do not tend to have a nanny, you don't really drink $50 bottles of wine, both parents work, you don't belong to a ritzy golf club, you tend not to drive BMWs, you can't spend lavishly but you also don't overly worry. According to data, upper middle class is a family income of $100,000 to $150,000. This is pretty shocking to me. I wouldn't have considered a couple that each makes $50K a year and have 2 kids to be upper middle class. It's all relative to location and country. Not actually being upper middle class, just spending it like it to keep appearances with the neighbors. Those are the people whose life goes into a death spiral at the first money problem, and they expect you to feel sorry for them if you know. If I get another GoFundMe request for someone to pay for their Chihuahua's $15,000 knee replacement, my parents make too much based on my FAFSA to get financial aid, but are too poor to contribute to my education. As a high school senior and youngest of 4 kids of upper middle class parents, this is my life now. Thank God for merit scholarships. Dude, merit scholarships they're all that's getting me through uni right now. Being to go on multiple overseas school trips. Never really considered how lucky I was as a kid. This is upper middle class? 16-year-old gets mom's Honda Fit with 50,000 miles. So my mom can buy a brand new CRV. Most accurate here so far. So many people are confusing upper middle with upper. 100 grand a year does not buy you a McMansion and a BMW. It does where I live. That Grey Poupon, that Avion, that TED Talk. Ayy, watch my soul speak. Your parents buying you a reliable used car with 90k miles on it when you turn 16. Only in US can. Everywhere else it may be a scooter if your job school allows them on their grounds. They have a Keurig with all sorts of different coffees to brew, but they still buy all their coffee from that one independent hipster coffee shop in town. That coffee they order from the hipster place will be closer to a milkshake than a regular cup of coffee. The people who like the idea of coffee, but not actually coffee. Coffee is just a delivery system for the caffeine. I will drink a cup of cold coffee from yesterday if it's a choice between that or no coffee. GMC Denali, Cadillac Escalade, and a hyper-aggressive woman driver driving it. I can make that gap. Swings into opening the size of a smart car, then gets pissed when you lay on the horn. I'm socially liberal, but economically conservative. This one physically hurt. Lacrosse. As a lacrosse player for the past 10 years, yes. Anything Lululemon. Girls from all spectrums, but Lululemon. It's upper middle class when the dad has Lululemon quarter zip long sleeve. I'm not even remotely upper middle class, but they make great workout gear for guys. Almost all my workout stuff is Lulu now, but it took me a few years to replace everything. 6-figure salary, large house in the suburbs, goes on multiple vacations per year, drives either a luxury car or a nice SUV, usually has their savings invested, cares about their health. Cares about their health? What? They care about their health because they have both the time and the means to take care of little health issues before they turn into something more. ITT, things that scream upper middle class, interspersed with a few people of 200k plus income explaining why they're really middle class. 200k in some places is middle class. My parents bought in around 300k, but South Warner County only gets you so much. A simple 3-bedroom here is close to $1 million. Going on a Disney vacation and staying in a park hotel. Disney World even has its resorts sorted by class. Value, moderate, deluxe. The value ones are $100 a night. Really not bad when you factor in the savings from not having to rent a car since you're on site. Beach blonde woman doing per bar. I had to Google this. Locations in Chicago suburbs include Evanston, Glenview, Geneva, Deerfield, Naperville. I know nothing else, but I believe you. Pure bar. Googled it. Went on the first link that popped up, saw the picture in the background, and learned all I needed to know about what Pure Bar is. Sees Porsche. Hey, nice car. Thanks. It's my dad's. I know. Walk away. Live, laugh, love. In this house, we list a dozen or so cutesy things nobody else in the house does because they're all miserable and distracted. Where I'm from, those are very working class white things to have. Well-off people don't put words on their wall because they don't need to copy Pinterest to feel like they have taste. Agreed. Husband's a cop. He says every time he gets called to domestic, the house has a live, laugh, love sticker somewhere on the wall and they're white. Maxing out the 401k contribution. Making too much for a Roth contribution. More like maxing out the 401k and doing a backdoor Roth to get around the contribution limit. If you think you'll be implementing a Roth conversion ladder, or maybe just knowing what one is, talking with my co-worker many years ago, the normal can't wait till payday talk, i.e. going shopping to fill the fridge back up, get some ears, pay some bills. The boss walks in and hears some of the combo. Co-worker says he can't wait to get his account back in the positive. Boss says, "Don't you have a buffer?" We look at each other and say, "Buffer?" The boss says, "Yeah. Just put $1,000 in there and pretend like it's not there. That way you have a buffer so it never goes negative." Coworker looks at boss and says, "You know what I get paid here? What makes you think I have a spare $1,000? Well, what did the boss say to that? Complete befuddlement washed over her face as her position as boss intersected alternate reality of someone else's world. Or as I like to call it, Becky face. I firmly believe that many posts in here describe upper class instead of middle class. I would say it is a low-end luxury vehicle or a high-end regular vehicle, BMW 3 Series or Toyota Avalon for example. Buying every new console on a whim, taking vacation every other year to a year, having a lot of Lululemon and Kate Spade range of clothes and accessories, multiple 55-inch TVs, and a laptop, MacBook Pro or high-end gaming desktop for every member of the family. Edit. Added first word or first sentence. The real issue is that the middle class is a meaningless term and can vary wildly by location. 75K in rural Midwest is baller, and 100K in the Bay Area is living paycheck to paycheck. Also, as a whole, we've been lied to a lot institutionally about what being rich is, which is why I think people are looking at purchasing power and spending habits rather than pure income. Disposable income after expenses and taxes would be another okay figure to use. 60 plus inch TV with every available game console and a Blu-ray player, each of which has different apps for watching various shows and movies. No cable and no games because they don't have time to play any. We don't do Blu-ray. It's not 2013. Also, we cannot watch Sunday and Monday football without cable. Let me introduce you to our NFL streams. What screams upper middle class to y'all? Leave your suggestions in the comments below, and make sure to like, subscribe, and share with all your friends and family and everybody you know. Bye.